Hi, everybody. You know that big giant mess I made? I'm going to keep working with it. I will share my screen so you can see the bead plate. And no, I haven't made a huge amount of progress, but it's a coming. I'll share with you what I did so far. I've got this thing that started out with a line of beads with, I think it's regular sewing thread, but I worked with it. It was fine. And it was doubled and it went through the beads just fine, except for one spot where it broke a size 13 seed bead. And too bad. I just let her rip. I just figured this is just for fun. I'm gonna mess with it. It's just to mess around with, so I'm not gonna it's not gonna be the museum piece or the heirloom piece. But what I did was the original string had black beads with every so often 3 beads of a different color. So what I did was when I came to that color, the first set of 3 beads, excuse me. Okay. The first set of 3 beads, I just made a turnaround at that point and went back through the bead next to it. Then I put on a bunch of black beads. Then I came to the next set of, that was originally 3 beads. What I did was, I'll use a bead needle as a pointer. I went through the first of the 3 beads. I put on a bead of the same or relatively the same color that I could find from the stash. It wasn't the exact same color, but hey, I'm working, my only rule is that I have to only work with beads on this plate. So I took a bead that was similar. I skipped this bead of the original, these are the original 3. Then I went through this bead. Then I put on beads to match the beads on the original strand. I did the same thing over and over. I could have made it so that the junctions here were colorful, but that would have made this original string, which started here, went up here, and went up here, not match the original string. So I thought, okay, I'll make myself an arbitrary rule and at least take a hint, if not follow the exact pattern with the original anonymous person who did the beadwork that ended up in the box that ended up in the anarchist collective household garage sale that I went to last Saturday. So that's the first thing I did. These are still unfurled. These are the hanks I was telling you about. For beginning beaders, again, these are beads that are made in Czech Republic come strung on what they call hanks. Someday I'll look it up and find out where the term hank originated in relating to beads. But until then, we'll just call them hanks and leave it at that. I've got other things. I'm probably going to take this off of the string and do something different with it, but I didn't do anything with it yet. So I'm leaving it intact for now. The next thing I did was I thought, tubular herringbone and flat herringbone are wonderful forgiving stitches. You can use lots of different sizes. You can go up and down in size. These black, and if you hold it up to the light, some of these are dark beads right in this channel, right around here, are black, and some of them are deep cobalt blue. But the white and the deep cobalt blue beads are bigger than this set of seed beads and then this set of seed beads. And of course, these are bugle beads, so they're very differently sized. But the stitch allows for a lot of just frankly improvisation. It's called herringbone. It's also called Ndebele stitch. The Ndebele people are a huge ethnic group of people from Southern Africa who do incredible artwork, really cool stuff, both in the houses that they build and the paint jobs that they put on their houses and in their beads. So I decided when I finished the end of the thread that I was working with, I decided I'm getting bored with using tubular, so I'm going to go revert to using flat or back and forth. I am going to have to change my thread at some point, so you'll get to see me do that. Whoop-dee-doo. I hope you like that. But yeah, I'm just going to start beading. The way I started this was different from the way I'm continuing this. This is a ladder stitch, and if you leave a comment below and ask me to show you how to start herringbone, there are two ways to start herringbone that are very different from each other. I used the same way to start it, both on this tubular piece and on this flat piece. And I could have used the other type. I was just lazy and I just wanted to get started. So I used what I think of as the easier way. But I'm going to continue. So herringbone or Ndebele, you're coming out of this bead, you put 2 beads on, you go down through the next bead and up through the following bead. Pull it through. These want to bunch up like that. What I do is I just kind of poke them into shape and I continue. The one thing I don't do is I don't switch types of beads within the same row usually. I'll switch colors, usually not sizes. But if I do switch sizes, it's not the end of the world. I simply have to compensate on the following row by switching the position of the alternate size so that it balances out. So see how that's building up there? Let's see, angle it so you can see it better. I put 2 on. I came out of this. Well, okay, I'll show you. I'm coming out of this black bead right here. I'm putting on 2 beads. Oh, thought I was putting on 2 beads. Now I've got 2 beads on. And hold it better so you can see better. I'm going down into the very next bead and up through the following bead. See how it goes down through this bead and up through that bead. It looks parallel now just because of the way the beads are sitting, but now that they're back in their original places, you can see how, I'll flap this out for you so you can see better. The 1 seed bead, it's angled up. That's the herringbone part, is that V shape of the beads. It's angled to the left. So it's coming out the 1 bead that's angled to the left. 2 beads are on the string and it's going back down into the bead that's, bead that's angled to the right. On the left-hand bead that's angled to the right, and the right-hand bead is angled to the left. And that's how it's capturing and placing. It's setting the next couple of seed beads, the seed beads I just put on it, up so that those are also going to be kind of poking up in a V-shaped manner. So I just keep doing that over and over and over till I got a big thing. I think I will share with you, and I didn't think of this before I started the video, but so you'll have to accommodate my searching for it on the internet, searching for the pictures. But I have examples of, let's see. The first thing I can do that's really easy to do is to share a picture of some beads, some herringbone that I'm teaching for this class. And the earrings are the tubular herringbone, and this is the flat herringbone. So what can I say? I will look for my next picture. I have it in my, let's see, I believe I have it in the documents of my pictures. I'll keep looking. I've got so many pictures. You know how that goes. I think I have it. Well, let's see. Oh, yes. Okay. Now I can do a screen share again because this is so boss, you guys. Let me get this off of there and I will show you. Oh, okay. Excuse me. I will have to attach this picture when I'm done with this video because, long story, it has to do with not wanting to rent Microsoft programs, and I have the not wanting to rent Microsoft's programs that used to be free, and having that picture as tied into a Microsoft Word page. So I will get it and I will retrieve it and I will attach it to the as in a comment in this video or as part of this video so you can access it. But this is a great picture of these people, these ladies who are doing bead weaving, sitting in their courtyard in the sun, and they've got a kitty cat next to them who probably wants to play with the strings of beads. And that is so universal for bead weaving. I thought, oh, talk about unity of mankind. Kitty cats, animals, pets, and beads. And sitting in the sun with your friends. Now, how unifying is that, huh? So I don't think I'll keep you much longer. I know that you people have other things to do than watch somebody bead endlessly. Maybe you don't have anything to do but that. That's great if you don't. But I will show you how I'm finishing off my thread, which is, see how I made a loop underneath, just between that comes up between the beads. And because my thread is so short, and this is for my beginning students, I'm backing the needle through the loop that I made of the thread. I back it through because if I poke it through, I'd have to either bend it or make the loop exceedingly tiny and take a chance on the loop just pulling through. So like I just did, but I did that on purpose to show you that that can happen. So if that's in danger of happening, make sure you know where your thread, by doing this, by tightening it up, that your thread is going to land in between one bead and another, back your needle through. This is the eye of the needle end. And see how it's just big enough. The needle will bend, so it's no big deal. I try not to bend them too far. But now I've tied my working thread to my existing thread, and I'm going to go back through the bead. If I can, why not? I can always tie another half-hitch knot. Come on, focus sesame, baby. But when I put my new thread on, and I will do that in front of you to show integration of new thread with the existing piece. When I put my new thread on, I'm going to tie my new thread to the old thread. I'm waxing just the end because my thread is pre-waxed. It's a particular type of thread that is waxed already. I did this too fast. for beginners, if you want to make a knot that you know is either going to be hidden or clipped off, I'm going to clip mine off. So I know I can make a big old Herkin knot just as a placeholder. What I'll do is my mom taught me this when I was a kid. Wrap the thread around your finger, roll it so that the thread twists around itself. See that nice twist there? And then take your fingernail and pull all that twisty mass into a big mess. And now you have a big old Herkin knot that won't pull through your bead. And because I finished this row, I can start on either end. It really doesn't matter. So I'm just going to start here. I'm going to do another half-hitch knot just to be swinging with the structural changes. Make it sturdy, make it not slip out. Have beads flying all over the place. Or slowly, quietly falling off. And then you notice it when it's like, oh, that's too bad. So I did that same half hitch knot again. I'll show you it again because it's easy for me to forget that I need to show things slowly because I've done them frequently. But now one of the things, and I'll show you this in my next video, when I get to the end of the row, I have to do a turnaround, and that turnaround involves coming up and going from the bead next to the end to the bead on the end. So before I do that, I'll do another half hitch knot, but I'm actually going over one. I will in a sec once I get my act together. Okay, see how I'm coming up underneath the guy in the very end, the bead guy. That is. And made another half hitch knot there. That half hitch knot disappeared between the beads, and I can see something there, so I probably won't do that again like that, but it's not the end of the world. And now I'm coming out, I came from this one over to this one, so I can restart. And what I'll do is I'll make one stitch after I get the cluster of thread sorted out here. There we go. That's doubled thread for you. I prefer to use doubled thread even though it can do things like that because it's twice as strong. I like strong work. What I'll do is I'll pick another color of bead from this vast selection that I have on this plate, and I'll start over again. I'm coming out of this bead at the very end. I put 2 beads on, and I'm going down into this bead, down, and then up through the very next bead, the bead right next to it. That's herringbone. That's Ndebele. I will endeavor to find examples of Ndebele artwork, and it'll blow your socks. It'll knock your socks off, I promise you. Now that I have finished that first stitch on that row, I will just chop this little knot off of there. The knot is beheaded. Off with the knot. Long live the new knot. And I'm going to get rid of my old thread. And what I'll do before I proceed is I will tug on the work. Okay, this is not going to fall off. And that's not going to fall off. So let me make sure. Pinch and pull. Yep, it's all right. So I'm ready to proceed. I'm fairly sure that my work isn't going to fall apart, and off I go. This was the first initiating row, second, third, and this is the fourth row. So again, I won't bore the heck out of you by making you thinking that you're going to sit through 45 minutes of me doing this, but I will continue on this, and I will just keep adding row after row of it. Here's what I'll do. I'll give it a little, come on, baby. There you go. Give you a little, give it a little showcase there. And I'll just keep working on it. And when I feel like putting bugles on there, like maybe that'll come next, maybe that'll come after. We can compare what happens when you do herringbone in a tube versus flat herringbone. Very different look, but similar technique. So hope you enjoyed that. I will stop the share. I will keep beating, and I hope to see you next time. Take it easy. Bye.